In 2001, I was around 7. I didn't have a lot of friends back then. Then one day at church, I was told that a new kid would be coming next week, and they asked us all to collect some toys and donate them to the kids that he would feel welcome. I remember, so the next Sunday came, and I remember this like it was yesterday. It was like a friggin' movie. The clouds were gray in the sky, it was overcasted, a little chilly. We were all outside just playing, what kids do at playgrounds before church starts. And all of a sudden, this car pulls up. And this kid with dark hair stuck his head out the window and started screaming, J-Rex! J-Rex! And he screams, thanks for the toys! So, long story short, I guess I was one of the few kids who actually donated stuff to this kid. And from that moment on, we became quick friends that day. We sat together during church, we went to children's church together, and it was fun, it was great. But at that time, it wasn't unusual for kids to just come one week and then never come back to the church again. This happened quite often, so I wasn't going to get attached. But then, the next week, he showed up again. And then the week after that, again. And then he kept coming back. I think that's what made it so hard. The week he didn't come back. The week he went missing.
Roughly 800,000 children go missing every year in the United States of America. Missing. That is about 2,000 per day. 2,000 missing.
My friend went missing, but I'm gonna find him. We were friends for probably a year and a half. I was about 8 going on 9 when he disappeared. Him and his mom both went missing. And when you're 9, you can't process stuff like that. I mean, even to this day, I don't think I've completely processed it. I think that's why I have to do this and I have to find him. So obviously the first thing I did was search his name on social media. His name was Josh, but I don't know his last name. I mean, it sounds stupid, but we were kids. When you're that age, you don't learn last names. I've spent endless nights looking through all the Joshes on these platforms. It soon became fruitless and drove me a little crazy. Same with other search engines. Without a last name, there's no possible way to find him. So when Josh first moved here, him and his mom moved in with his grandma. And his grandma was actually an old family friend of ours, so we knew her pretty well. I do know her name and her last name, and I'm not going to disclose that for the family's privacy, but as far as I can tell, Josh had a different last name than her. I think maybe it was, I don't know, some sort of custody thing with his dad, I'm not sure, but they had different last names as far as I can remember. Of course, I can't remember exactly what the last name was. But I do know her last name, so I should be able to get a hold of her, and hopefully she can give me some more information, maybe his last name. But the hard part is getting a hold of her. I do think I have a friend, though, who could get me the phone number. Let's see. Hey, Trisha J, how you doing? Good. Okay, sorry, this is super random, but I'm calling. I'm trying to get hold of Dorothy. I'm working on a documentary and I'm trying to find her phone number. Do you still have it? Are you sure? Can you check your phone by any chance? Okay. 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 Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, have a great day. Okay, bye. I'm not really a fan of talking on the phone, but for this, I knew I was going to have to. Sadly, she didn't answer. Maybe she's not even using that phone number anymore. It might be old contact information. But I didn't get a hold of her. So I figured it'd probably be really helpful to actually have photos of Josh. But obviously, I don't just have those on my Facebook or my phone because I was like 8 when he, disappeared. So I figured the best thing to do was consult my mother's photo collection. So let's take some strolls down memory lane, shall we? This is surprisingly heavy. So many memories. Here we go. Let's do this. Well, I went through the whole box and I couldn't actually find any photos of me and Josh. I did find a few cute photos of me though, looking real smooth with my little teacup sitting in a nice chair. I did find this photo of me and this lion thing, which might come up later. So let's get an image of that for sure, because that lion is kind of important to the story. Me and Josh got along really well, but our friendship was really based in this show called Digimon. It forever will be my favorite TV show of all time. And at that, back then, especially in church, nobody watched that, nobody liked that. And I really didn't have anyone to bond with over that story. And when Josh showed up, he also loved Digimon. So we became better friends because of that. That show probably defined our friendship. We had all the toys. We both played with them together. We'd go to each other's houses, play with the toys, act it out, all that stuff you do when you're a kid. This is actually one of the toys that me and Josh would play with. It's a funny story. He actually was the one who broke this foot off. So every time I look at this little, broken toy, it makes me think of Josh. So I really do enjoy having this because it reminds me that I'm not crazy. I did have a friend and he broke my toy. But whatever. It can be fixed. Like everything else, it can be fixed. There we go. Me and Josh both love Digimon, but we also really, really loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's a weird combo, but I think stuff like that is why we became best friends.
So I've been doing this research for a couple months now, probably, and I've been looking for my childhood best friend, and I realized that I didn't actually tell my current best friend, my real best friend, Maddie. And so I figured there's some big changes in my life, big news, so I figured I should probably tell her about this investigation / search. I don't know how she's gonna feel about it, but she's my best friend, so I probably should, inform her. You know a lot about me, right?
I do. I know.
I don't think you do. I think this is some story. I don't know if you know this one or not.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna explain to you something about my
first friend before you. Before you.
There was only me.
My first friend, like my first real friend, who wasn't like family. We were about 9, and we went to church together, and we were really close. His name was Josh, and we hung out for about a year, and he and his mom went missing, and
Bro.
yeah, and I'm doing this series to try to find him, and you're my best friend, so I just wanted to tell you.
That's fucking
'Cause-
crazy.
Yeah, he went missing, and well, him and his mom were like, they went missing together. They like went to meet somebody, and like they never came back. They ran away. We don't know, and it's some weird shit. So I'm like, I'm investigating, and I just wanted to tell you because you're my best friend, and I'm looking for my old friend. So I'm like, I'm gonna tell my current best friend.
Trying to replace me.
Let you know, just feel like I feel like I need you're part of my life, and I want you to be part of part of this journey. So.
Appreciate it. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
They like legit went missing.
Mhm.
Like, was there like a missing person?
I don't know. It was weird because he was with an adult and they both went missing. Like they both left. Like it was like a runaway missing type thing. I don't know if it was a custody
That's
thing. I don't know. I was a kid, so I didn't know.
Well, yeah.
And so, like his mom was like meeting somebody somewhere, kind of like on Craigslist type thing. So it's fucking weird. It was some crazy shit. So like I don't know. I just wanted to tell you. It was
Damn.
like I wanted to tell you because you didn't know that one yet, right? You didn't know.
No, I
Yeah.
did not be like, all right, we searching.
We searching.
We searching.
We searching. It's weird knowing that Maddie wants to help me find Josh and supports me in doing this. Really makes me feel less alone. This is the church me and Josh both went to. To tell the story of the church would be a whole nother story altogether. But for the backdrop of this story, it was a nice place to meet a friend. This was the parking lot where I last saw him. It was a Sunday like any other. We both just went our separate ways like it was nothing. No big deal at all. Little did I know I would never see my best friend again. I sometimes just go to this parking lot just to remember. I know there's nothing I could do to change it, but sometimes I just wonder where he is. Is he okay? Will I ever find him? So I know Josh's name and his grandma's information, but I also remember what school he went to. It was local, and I wanted to contact them, but I'm having a little trouble getting a hold of the school right now. But I thought maybe if I could find some of the yearbooks, I could find a photo, a name, maybe a little information. So I'm going to go down to the local library and see if they have any of the old yearbooks on file. It can't hurt to try, right? I went to the library today to find some old yearbooks, maybe something that might give me a clue about Josh's last name and maybe even a photo. I talked to one of the librarians that I'm kind of familiar with, and she told me that it was located upstairs. Once I found the elevator, I went to the room to see if I could find any of the yearbooks. There were many, many yearbooks. But not a single one that was the right year or the right school. Back to the drawing board, I guess. When I first started researching all this, I reached out to a few people I used to go to church with. Some people who I thought would have known Josh. Not a single person remembered him. It was almost like he'd never gone to church with us. They had no idea who I was talking about and no remembrance at all. I started worrying. Was I crazy? Did this really happen? Was Josh real? Did I make this up? Was he an imaginary friend? But then finally, I heard back from this guy, Zach. We used to hang out with him a lot back in the day. He remembered Josh. He was actually recently thinking about him, and it was almost like it was destiny that we caught up at this exact moment. So we set up a time to talk, and we had a little conversation about Josh. So I set up a meeting with Zach, and we discussed our memories of Josh, and I tried to see if I could find any extra information.
My name is Zach. Josh and I were good friends for the time that he was here. Actually met through the same church that JRX and I met through. My mother, Rebecca, was good friends with his mom while they were here. So Josh and I would hang out quite a bit. Normally just run around outside, make believe, 10-year-old boy stuff. I miss Josh. I actually just had a random memory about him about 2 months back where we used to have this competition where we would try and memorize road signs and then we would guess which one was coming next. It was just a random memory I had about 2 months ago, and then you messaged me asking about this. So
yeah, so I think it's definitely the time to be looking for him again. Because what are we going on? It's been a while. Probably
12,
13 years.
years,
I think I want to say it was 2002. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, so me and him both like Digimon, and our favorite episode happened in 2002. So that's why I was moving back from there. Okay. I believe it was this like early winter of 2002 or like the January of 2002. Okay, so do you remember anything about his last name?
I want to say Overstreet.
Overstreet.
But that is also the most common name.
Honestly, no, that's new because I did not. All the ones, like all the stuff nothing like that, so I'm going to see if that's something that could add to it, because maybe. So let's talk about, do you remember what he looked like at all?
Yeah, so he had short/shaved hair. I mean this in the best way, but like me, kind of like a rectangular head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that too. Okay.
And then dark eyes. Darker skin, but I wouldn't say like Italian or anything, more like just kind of like golden brown.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're okay, because that's the same way I remember him, so I want to make sure, because I'm hoping to talk to somebody about a facial composite artist. Next question, what do you think happened? Do you have any, did he ever give you inklings of what was going on at home?
No, and I was too young to really understand things at the time, but looking back from what I can remember, I believe that his mother and father father/ex-husband, boyfriend, however that situation was, I believe that they weren't on good terms. Him and his mother were on good terms, of course, but the father was not in the picture. That is the only thing that I have to go off of. And so them leaving, I can only imagine, has to do with the same reason.
So do you remember any idea where he was from?
I'd like to say California.
Because I'm taking this investigation all the way. Would you like me to keep you in contact when I find anything? Because at the end of the day, I think we just do worry. Is he good? Is he alive? Is he, Yeah, so let's hope we can find something. And I'll contact you if you find anything. You talk to your mom, you talk to Steven. That would be super cool to know. So yeah, I'll keep you up to date.
Sounds good.
It was really nice talking to someone else about Josh. It really did help. It made me feel like I wasn't crazy, like this did happen. And it also verified a lot of things that I thought I remembered. It verified that they were true. And it did give me some sort of hope that I'm not the only one looking anymore, and that there's other people out there who miss my friend and care. When you're like 9 years old and you lose your best friend, it leaves a hole in your life. And in the long run, I think it did affect my friendships. I do have a lot of trouble trusting people and letting people in, especially from that time in my life. So the fact I got a chance to catch up with Zach, who I've known forever, and kind of reminisce and talk and get to know each other a little better now was nice. It was cool catching up with Zach. Sometimes you push people away or you move away from people, but sometimes you also get the chance to catch up with them. And I think if you ever get the chance to catch up with somebody from your past, you should take it. I did hope to maybe get some more information about maybe a last name or a lead on a photo, but I'll take what I got. We had a fun time talking about an old friend. The next step would be to find a facial composite artist, somebody who can do like a police sketch for me of Josh. That way I have something to show people when I'm searching. So I checked around and there are no local facial composite artists. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to draw a facial composite drawing of Josh. I used to draw a lot and I'm an artist. It's been a while, but I used to do a lot of faces and draw faces. So I don't know, I'm a little nervous about this because it's just, I've never done this before, but there's really no other options, and I really do need to get a photo. So I'm going to draw a photo of Josh. Just draw whatever I can remember. It's been a really long time since I've done a realistic drawing. I didn't really have any other options, though. I can see his face so vividly in my memory. His thick eyebrows, his dark brown eyes, his square jaw, even his pierced ear. I guess I am the perfect person to draw this. I'm not just going from someone else's memory, but my own. With each line, I get one step closer to having a photo of Josh. Maybe now I can finally show people who I'm looking for. So, have you seen Josh? You're watching J Markers Network. Get into it.
Queer, stop staring at me.
That was a bit racist, you tasteless shrew.
It makes me horny, and it makes me feel alive. For once,
I'm non-binary. I don't conform to being male or female.
Oh, ooh.
Bounce a quarter off of that ass. Damn.
Hey, don't do that.
When you get tired of playing with Blondie, here's my number.
I got mugged.
I do drag.
Just being drop dead sexy.
This is Jay. Jay's non-binary. I'm non-binary. This is Ace. He used to bully Jay. Hey, don't do that. Madison and Ace used to go out.
We're not getting back together.
Madison is Jay's cousin. 10 years later, will Jay be able to stand up to his childhood bully? It's time to grow up. Click, the animated series, only on J Marker's network.
Life. What's the point? Money? Success? Power? This was a question that plagued me when I was teaching my undergrad class. Life. What's the point?
Life, what's the point? The feature-length film, only available on J Marker's network. My film school diary, only on J Marker's network.
Film school diary. My 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 film school diary.
Spend your late nights with Creeper. Late Night Madness. Only on J Marker's network. Hi, I'm Craig T. Crabapple of Crabapple and Crabapple Law Firm, and I'm gonna get you paid. Have you been harassed by Horizons ads? You know the one I'm talking about with that guy, Steve. Well, they made a mistake. We are filing a lawsuit against them for you. That's right. They said that they were making a phone line that lets you call your family from beyond the grave. I don't think so. That's crazy. What they did was open a vortex to the beyond. And that's not good for you or your family. That's right. They knew what they were doing when they sold your information and opened a vortex to hell. That's right. They know what they're doing. Steve knows what he's doing. We can get you big, big compensation if you call us now at Crabapple and Crabapple Law Firm. We don't contact the beyond. All we do is get paid. That's right. Big, big money for you because Horizon knew what they were doing. With that being said, Steve, I'm looking at you. Me, Craig T. Crabapple, with my fellow associates at Crabapple and Crabapple are coming for you. That's right. You. We're gonna take it all. Horizon, you're not gonna be able to take advantage of people anymore. They were mourning people and they were losing people. We want their money. We're gonna get it for them. That's right. Call Crabapple Crabapple now to get your consultation about your compensation.
Praetor Academy is home to wayward witches, changelings, vampires, hunters, magi, and fairies with nowhere else to go. Cloaked in a sheath of mystical powers, the school rests on the cliffs of an ancient land, with only the council to guard and maintain its whereabouts, until a solitary man enters their lives to change their world. No one is safe when the doors of Praetor Academy open for the semester. Find Praetor Academy Year 1 on Kindle and Amazon.
Americans lose $70 million worth of change every year, and it's up to the Coinstar to find it. That is the whole plan of the game. You gotta always be looking for those coins. You cannot stop looking just because you didn't find none. They're out there. There is so much change that's unaccounted for every single year. When we're out here Coinstar on the street, we gotta look in every crevice, look for all the possible places. I like to find places where people are probably hanging out, maybe in the shade. JR is on the hunt for good coin. I was super excited when I got outside the electronics store and I saw a penny sitting there on the street. So we can make a quick buck. Also wear my protective gear because it's better to stay safe than holding a hot penny and burning yourself. I do like to check out thrift stores because you never know what you're gonna find. One time I bought me a coat, I bought me a nice jacket to go to a prom or like a wedding or something, and I put my hand in the pocket, I found a dirty tissue. But then I put my hand in the other pocket and I found some coins. So yeah, I had a dirty tissue in one pocket, coins in the other. I saved the coins. I threw out the tissue. That was gross. With his helpful hints, he might just make that big jackpot. It's me. I'm the Coinstar. Let's get it.
Coinstars, only on J Markers Network. J Markers Network, get into it.